We'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. We're here at Carver High School. How are you, sir?
Doing fine, doing fine.
What's your name?
My name is Milton Smith. I'm a member of Cloverdale ACBBA, and I'd like to thank you for coming out this morning. I want to introduce you to some of my, not only the city council president, but some of the members of the Cloverdale.
Okay.
Okay. To the side here we have Earl Garner. He's our president.
Okay.
Good morning.
How you doing, Mr. Garner?
I'm great, thank you.
Well, what's Cloverdale mean to the community?
Cloverdale in this area is probably a very intricate part of the community because we reach out to so many youth for so many years, and I've been privileged to have a part of this, small part of this whole thing, because these gentlemen to my left have been doing a great help also. But thank you all for coming in this morning, and hopefully we'll give you some insight of some of the things that we do.
Well, I got to tell you, when I got the invitation to come here, I remember being able to play basketball here as a young child. Did you play any basketball here?
Ever since 1963. When I was old enough to cross Druid Hill Avenue, I've been playing at Cloverdale.
Who was the baddest player to come out of this part of town? Easterwood Park right up the street.
Oh man, you put me on the spot there, man. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. Tell me it's a gentleman by the name of Gilbert Pinnock.
Okay.
The person who could probably answer that question is our treasurer, Bill Harris. He's one of the originals of Cloverdale.
Okay.
He could probably give you some insight on that.
Okay, Mr. Harris, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing fine.
Good. What are your thoughts of Cloverdale and the basketball tradition that has been set forth for generations to come?
Don't have enough time to tell you, sir. We go all the way back to 1957, from when we first started our program up at Cloverdale. It was an abandoned clubhouse, a recreation center. We opened it up. We knocked on the doors of the city to get the keys to it. And thank God that the city council persons that we were dealing with back in the day, which was Mary Pat Clark, got us the keys, and she stood behind us from that day on, and she's still behind us as of today. And we've been dealing with the city council people for years, and the presidents of the city council and council pragmatic persons, to help us enhance the program and do good for the Cloverdale community. And not only that, the community consists of Reservoir Hill, Sandtown, and Winchester, but Sandtown, Winchester. And we also reach out to different parts of the city. As if you focus your camera on this jersey right next to my left, you can see it's a jersey of many names on there, and those are rec sites that we were only allowed to go to back in the day. And we reached out to those programs, and also we went as far as south as Newbern, North Carolina, Norfolk, Virginia, as far north as New York City, and far west is West Virginia. So we've taken our youth program a great deal of different places, and places they would have never seen without the aid of Cloverdale. So that's what it means to me, and right to this day, 75 years old, I'm still batting 1,000, I hope, and try to keep this thing rolling.
Can you play any basketball?
You want to try me? You want to try me? That's all I can say. I'll give you a date.
Okay.
All right.
One thought to have the Baltimore Council President, City Council President, to come out on this Sunday morning. Your thoughts?
It's a pleasure to have him here. As I said before, we have a long record with the Council of Baltimore City, City Council of Baltimore City, with the presidents and all, as far back as Mary Pat Clark, as I said before. And the only black mark I have on my record is that, what's his name, Bell, Lawrence Bell. His office was 2 blocks away from our program, and he never showed up there, you know. So I'm proud to see that the present president, Jack Young, is taking his time to come out and deal with us and see what we're all about. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
It's very gracious of you.
Okay.
Not only this morning, he spent a lot of time just on our summer program in the hot sun in his suit, sitting down watching our game, so we really appreciate it.
Okay, so we're going to go to Dr. Heyman and finish up with the council president, and he can tell us what it's all about?
That's right.
Okay, the one and only Dr. Warren Heyman. You know anything about Dunbar? Oh, you know we got east side and west side in here, huh?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
This is an honor for us, and actually we are calling it Jack Young Day for Cloverdale BBA. Jack has been a supporter of the program even before he was president of the city council. He's always been very supportive of our program. I've been involved. I'm chairman of the board of directors. That's what they tell me. And I've been involved with the program. I played in the league in 1957. So I've been around a long time. I'm 79 years old.
Could you play?
Oh, yeah, I could handle it. I was one of the best point guards I've ever seen. But anyway, this program is tremendous in terms of what it does for the community, not just for the players, but now with the young people that we have. And we have to pay tribute to Lorenzo Mike Plater, who's deceased. Mike created this jersey, and as Bill pointed out, these are the playgrounds that we could only play on during the day, days of segregation. So we've come a long way. We're self-supported. Certainly we get support from the city to use the facility with the lease agreement that we have. But everything we do is generated by our own efforts. And as Bill said, we travel all up and down the East Coast. So we become ambassadors for Baltimore City. Now we're appreciative to the city for helping us to restore or renovate the new facility. I'll put a political plug in, Jack. They want to move our program during the reconstruction around the corner of the West Side Elementary. I taught at 137. I taught everybody in Rocky's family but Rocky. And, but we want to go across the street to Easterwood because it's a better facility. It allows us to do what we need to do. It also will give us an opportunity to expand our program. So we could do softball, et cetera, because of that particular venue. So again, we appreciate that Jack shows up. He always shows up. We don't have to worry about that. And as I said, even before he was president of the city council, he was there. I remember one time the bathroom was locked. Jack was head of the city's committee on recreation, I think. He just said, bust the lock open, and so we can go ahead in and have what we want to have. Been supportive, bringing Carmelo Anthony here to Baltimore City. So we're appreciative, and that's why I said today we're calling it Jack Young Day for Cloverdale BBA.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Getting a lot of accolades.
Oh, man. I didn't know it was Jack Young Day here. I was surprised at that. But, you know, I'm just so excited and happy for Cloverdale. Cloverdale has saved the lives of so many young people. And when you think of Cloverdale, you think of Madison in the Dome. It's synonymous with that kind of reputation, because Cloverdale put out a lot of excellent players, and some of them are in the pros today. I remember when Mr. Plater first came to me and said, Jack, you got to come up here and look at this. You know, because I've been East Side. But even though East Side players have come over here and played at Cloverdale, you know, I was always at the Dome. So I came over here one day and watched everything that was going on and fell in love with it. Outside, all the excitement. It reminded me of Madison Square Garden, not Madison Square Dome, but the Garden, with the energy that was being generated by the players and the fans who came here to play. And Mr. Plater told me, he said, look, we want to take care of this place and fix it up, but the city is not working with us. So I jumped all over the rec department at the time and told them, we got people who are volunteer their time. They're not being paid. They're giving up their time to help make a difference in the lives of our youth. And that's what they always have done here at Cloverdale. And I told them whenever they need me, they can reach out to me, and I would do whatever I could within my power to help this program, because this is a worthwhile program, and the kids whose lives they have changed is just a great thing to do. And I'm excited to be here.
Mr. President, can we talk about finances? I heard you and also Dr. Heyman allude to the city-private partnerships. Is that what it's going to take, particularly in tough economic times?
Well, I do believe that we could fully fund all our rec centers. It's a matter of where the will is. I believe in being proactive rather than reactive. What I've done as council president is taken the Recreation and Park Subcommittee and attached to the public safety and health, because that's how important it is. If we have our kids engaged in positive programs, we won't have to pay later on the back end with our kids going in and out of the juvenile system. So I say if we can find funds for everything else, we should be able to find funds for our kids.
You know, but it's kind of cool right now, but last summer they closed our pools near the end of the summer when it was blazing hot, and said there was no money, but yet they I don't know, seem to find money to do all of the things that suit other people's agenda.
Well, they came up with some private donors who came up and gave money to keep the pools open, but I'm hoping that we won't have to face that again this year. But with the partnership, if we could find partners who have deep pockets that could take the rec centers in that charter form, similar like charter schools, with a little help from the city, I think it would work. But what my reluctance is, what if they cannot sustain it? What happens? Does the rec center close, or do recs and parks come back in and help? I don't think so. I think once it's closed, and I'm concerned about that.
Any thoughts on that, Dr. Heyman?
Well, I agree with Jack Young. I think that the concern would be sustainability. It's one thing to say I will come in and take over for a while, but then what happens when I move out? But I think another option would be to invest more money into recreation parks, particularly the facilities that provide the services for youth. As I said, our program is self-supporting, and I think the other programs are self-supporting. And Jack is very accurate in saying that the Dome and Cloverdale, although we preceded the Dome, are very comparable in what they have to offer.
Okay.
Speaking of positive programs, I want to introduce you to Kevin Anderson. He's our youth director, and he does a lot of good things with the youth.
Okay. How you doing, sir?
How you doing today?
Good, good. What's your thoughts on Cloverdale as we wrap this thing up here?
Well,
Got me doing a documentary, man.
I agree with Dr. Heyman and President City Council, Mr. Young, on what they said as far as the kids, and I like the statement Mr. Young made as far as, it's more like a ministry to me, because we're saving souls. We're saving
from
souls.
Baltimore?
I'm from Baltimore.
East side, west side?
I'm from the east side, and what happened was I happened to just be at Fort Meade one time, went over there, and Mr. Plater was sitting there, and I asked him, did he need some help? And he basically said, yes, sir, I need some help. And so I threw a little direction in his program, and he kept me there. And one day I tried to leave and go coach college ball, and he said, hey, Sarge, you're not a coach. It kind of embarrassed me a little bit. I was like, I'm not a coach.
So,
He said, no, don't take it the wrong way. He said, a lot of coaches are coaching to win. You're coaching for souls. And it hit me real deep. So I stayed there. I've been there 14 years now. And basically just getting these youths from the east, west, north, and south. That's where we get them from. We got the kids in the gym right now from all over town. And basically, you know, when you save a soul, you save a community. And basically that's what we're trying to do. We're on saving our communities through basketball. And like he said, Dr. Heyman said, we're ambassadors. We go to New York, we go to New Jersey, we go to Pennsylvania, we go to D.C. We all over the East Coast. We're trying to move it abroad, even more further.
good deal. Gentlemen, thank you. And keep watching. Be more. Yes, sir.
If I could interject one more thing. I remember when Carmelo Anthony wanted to rehab this whole Cloverdale. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
When he wanted to dome it like the Dome. And the city was the impediment to that happening. And that's a shame, because he did want to
The
do a
city
similar-
blocked it?
The city, in a way, yes, because it's not done. And he wanted to do similar what we have with the Dome right here. Do you guys remember that?
He
Oh,
really
yeah,
committed
right.
$1 million.
He made a
to our
public
program.
announcement on that at one of his events.
And you know, the irony is, having graduated from Dunbar, he's his work is more visible, I think, than any other Dunbar player
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
in terms of his give back to the community.
That means,
Carmelo didn't graduate from Dunbar.
No, I did.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
and a lot of legends came out of there. They made it to the pros, but from what I've seen,
They're not giving back.
He's
the
only
one who has given
he's the
back.
only one that I know of that wanted to build a dome-like structure right here at Cloverdale.
So did we leave the money on the table? Is it too late to get it?
I'll tell you what we left on the table. We left our plans on the table. We submitted our plans to the Parks and Rec, and they have our plans for that facility now. But yet still they're doing a cosmetic job. You know, the construction that's going on this, as right now. I think you, didn't you have a bid that you voted on to do that work?
I'm not sure.
It was sometime a month ago.
The bid for what?
Well, the construction at Cloverdale.
At Cloverdale?
Yes.
I don't remember.
It didn't come up a bid?
I don't remember.
It was supposed to have come up on a
I don't
Tuesday.
remember. I can look,
Okay.
I can look for it.
Okay, was it awarded? Yes.
Was awarded?
JLN, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the whole thing, that's it.
Okay. So what have we done today? Have we brought exposure to Cloverdale?
Yes, and thank you, Donnie, for doing all the work you do for the city, not just Cloverdale.
Okay.
And I'm just excited that it's Jack Day. I didn't know that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Keep watching BMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.